my name is Mel or Marie-Ève, or people also know me as ZeBirdBrain, or apparently my title here is Harmony Wizard. So hi, yeah, my name is Marie-Ève Lacelle or Marie-Ève Lacelle. I work at Toon Boom. I'm a senior solution specialist there, but I am also a Twitch host. And today with me, I have a very cool guest. It's Louise-Andree Lapointe. And she's very
Hello.
nice, and I'll let her introduce herself to us right now.
Hello, my name is Louise-Andree Lapointe, and I'm a senior animator working in mostly cutout animation. And I've been working in the industry for, I think it's been 8 years. So I guess
I stopped counting. Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know. I was trying to look up the dates with my LinkedIn yesterday, and I was like, I guess it's 8. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I've been working on TV shows and like freelance for local TV here in Quebec, Canada. I don't know from where everybody is watching from, so maybe I'm gonna add the context. And yeah, so like this year I opened my company with my partner. So I'm the CEO entrepreneur of Kagul Animation, and I think that's it.
That is very cool.
Thank you. Was it good enough as a presentation, Maria?
Yeah, so on top of all of that, the cool thing is that, I don't know if you could tell by our accent, but me and Louise-Andree are from the same place, from the same city-ish, and we went to the same animation school. So that's kind of neat.
Represent Cégep du Vieux Montréal.
Yeah, we went to Cégep du Vieux Montréal, which is an animation school. The animation school in Montreal. Yeah. So, yeah. And today, what we're gonna talk to you about, it's like when we are in school, like, hello, my name is Marie-Ève, and today I'm gonna talk to you about animation.
Yeah.
But seriously, what the subject of today is like career and path that we take when we are in the animation industry, because yeah, no one has the same path, but everyone sure loves to pretend that they have the go-to answer for everybody. Like, oh yeah, everyone has the same path and everyone must do exactly like me, which is not the case. Everybody has different path and different profile. And me and Louise-Andree are the best ambassadors to tell you that even though you're not the star of your animation school, you can very well make it in this industry.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do today is, talk about Louise-Andree's career and path, and where you are now, and where you've been, and where you are heading. Yeah.
So, like, maybe I can start to, I don't know, like, I'm supposed to animate something at the same time. So I prepared a bit of posing of our little mascot of our company. So it's a Kagul boy. So he's gonna be doing for us a little dance at the same time as we talk about very serious stuff. Yeah. So,
it's such a cool design though in animation. Like, I don't know how you do all that stuff. You're so good. I like it.
This design was not done by me though. I'm gonna give the credit where credit is due. It's a rig and designed by Mathieu Labbé, which is my partner for Kagul Animation. So, but I'm doing the animation today, like this afternoon. Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you want me to start talking about maybe
how I got a couple of questions
about
for
you?
Stuff? So what you're animating now is the kind of logo / mascot of your little studio you're starting out.
Yeah.
But you didn't just graduate school and start a studio.
Yeah, it took a while. To get there. So maybe I can start about talking about my path in school, because I did a bunch of stuff.
I would love to.
Yeah,
how were your school years? How was it? Were you the students always having 100% in all their assignment and being the perfect students?
If boy. So when I started, I think our cohort is 2010, 2014 or
No,
2011,
yeah, we were from
2014.
2011 to
Okay,
2014.
yeah. You see, I'm glad
We
you're here and you went to
graduated
the
in
same school.
2014, which is the important part.
Yeah, so when I went to school, just to like start up with this, I think I was like the accepted. Well, Cégep du Vieux Montréal has a special way of like accepting students. At first, they accept you like with your notes, like you have to have good grades in school. So
I think it
I
was
think
like
it was the
75% of like global grades, which is
yeah.
kind of big.
So but I was super bad at school, so I had to work my butt off like to really improve my grades in school. So it motivated me to do better and be accepted in the school. So then when I got the grades, I went to, for my first time, I came to Montreal, the big city, and I did the test, the animation test. But I think I was like, they were accepting 40 students per year. And I was number, I think, 39 on the 40th. So I was the second baddest, like I was very not the best student that they accepted. I think I was one of the worst. And like, I guess by working really hard, I was able to get through the 3 super hard years at Cégep du Vieux Montréal. But it was super hard. Like it was nonstop working on animation and nonstop like eating animation, dreaming about animation, doing animation for 3 years. I guess you had pretty much the same experience, Maria.
Yeah, do you remember some students like because oh yeah, that was also like Facebook was kind of new-ish. So,
Yeah,
people were like, "Oh my god," like they would make this thing where their relationship status would be animation, like they were in a
yeah.
relationship with animation. That was kind
Oh
of sad.
yeah, I didn't remember that. That's such a yeah,
But like as hard our animation school years at least for us were very very hardcore, dare I say. And
yeah,
everybody usually people agree to say that school was harder than the industry in many ways.
yeah.
Um,
Because
but
you have
also
to
we are
learn
younger and usually
everything.
we have more energy in school, so that also compensate.
Yeah, because like when we started, we were 17.
Yep,
So we finished like the Cégep du Vieux Montréal at 19, I think.
you did. I
19,
finished at
20.
22 because I did it twice. I did
Oh yeah,
two
you did the 3D
diplomas.
classes.
But yeah, the first time we graduated at like 1920-ish.
Yeah, but
You were
that's the
so
crazy
young.
part. Like at 19, we decided to like go to Pixel Challenge, which was a competition at the time of a
Yep.
48-hour animation competition. And we went with a group of friends with Marie-Ève and like 3 other people, and we
Yep.
won first place. Like tiny babies of 19 years old that just graduated. Like that, I think we were gonna graduate. We were
Yeah,
not
well,
done
the
yet with
thing
our
is,
film.
we were gonna graduate like that was like in May or something, or in June. We were gonna graduate like the month after,
Yeah,
and we joined this animation competition just for fun. Like we never thought we would win, but the reason why we joined, I remember, was because when we graduated, we didn't want to only have our student short film as the only project that we have.
yeah,
So
and
by
I think
joining these competition, it allowed us to, when we graduated, most students had one short film. We had like two plus another one that some of us did. So we had like 2 to 3 short films before graduation. This is incredible. So like
yeah,
these competitions are really great for students.
and it's just like 48 hours, so like you don't
Yeah.
have to prepare stuff beforehand. But I would suggest like for people getting into the industry, if you wanna like if you're graduating this year, try to do work outside of your
Oh
like
yes.
school projects. I know it's super hard though. Like just school projects are already super hard to do and accomplish in your free time, and then have a social life, and then have like a healthy life and work balance, and then like all of those things accumulate. But having that little extra spark in your portfolio really gives you like the go ahead to find jobs later on. Like it's just it gets so much easier. And like for us, well, for me personally, like I was able to find work almost like as I graduated school, but I was still in school. I went to the Centrenade for a year to do
Oh, you're
3D.
right. You did
Yeah,
that. I
but then
forgot.
I realized that I didn't really like 3D. I'm more of a free spirit type of person, and it wasn't really my universe. I was more of a draw it and see the results right away. like, I guess that's why I really love cutout now. Like, I really specialize in cutout animation, and I prefer doing that just because, like, you can see the results right away. You don't have to go through the rough stage and like the coloring and then compositing. Like, you can almost see the results right away with cutout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think to sum up like what we just like talked about a little bit for maybe people who are just coming in to the chat or whatever. So basically, you know, because we're talking about careers, we were in school, and you know, in your school you have the like designated like a project that you work on. But I think what we're trying to get across here is that these projects are just a small part of what you can achieve when you're in school. Like, you should not focus all your time and energy on schoolwork. We used to say it all the time in our school, like your short film, like your student film, is not the movie of your life. It is but one part of a key, if you had like a keychain with lots of keys on it. It's just one key that could maybe get you a place in the industry or whatever, but it's not endgame. Like, it's not the movie of your life. If your short film is not perfect, it's fine. I think in school you should be focused on trying many things and just trying to see and learn things, which is, you know, what we were talking about with like our competition we've been to, or the project that we were trying. So, you know, having grades that are not the best in the world in school is okay, because you're supposed to be there to learn, not perform the best things ever. So take it from us. Neither of us were the stars of our cohort, but we were some of the most flexible people in our cohort who just tried many things and just make mistakes all the time. And you know, we've been places, so maybe there's a good in there.
Yeah. And if you don't like 3D and you try to go into 3D, you don't have to stick it out if you don't like something.
Oh yeah, you don't.
Yeah, just try something else. Like, as when you try to find a good idea for your short or a good idea for your school project, you don't have to like persist and stick it out just because you want to finish it. Like, maybe sometimes just taking a step back, go for a walk and think about your decision, then come back. Because then afterwards I went to Concordia instead. But I was already like working full time in animation, so I went to Concordia.
And what was Concordia? Was it like a 3D program? Was it a business? Was it animation?
It was a 2D animation class, but it was more focused towards making you do a bunch of shorts. So I think I did like 6 films while I was there, insane. And most of them are never gonna see the light of day. They're just gonna be like trashy ideas that I was trying to like do something with. But
and just for context, for the people who are not local to Montreal and Quebec and stuff, the school we attended to, like the animation school, was a Cégep, which is a unique thing to the Quebec province. It's like university, but not quite, but it's also higher than college education from the United States. It's elsewhere in the world, it would be considered university-ish, but it was not.
It's but
then when you went to Concordia, that was to get a university degree. No, not degree. It's, what is it called in English? I don't know. Something that the university gives you when you finish.
Well, for Concordia, it was a BFA, and I had the major in film animation, but it was a BFA in fine arts.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I was just giving context to people who might be like, huh, what is Concordia? So it's a university in Montreal that offers one animation program. Okay, the floor is yours. How were your years in the university compared to Cégep?
So, well, I don't think I learned that much more in university. It's just that the context was different since I was working at the same time. So it gave me like a platform to create with a structure instead of just trying to, because one of the things that are the most important, I think, in animation is trying to always work on your own craft outside of studio work. Yes. So, like, don't think that just doing studio work is going to develop your art style, because you're mostly going to use the art style of someone else that created the show on which you're working on. So always try to develop yourself, and even if that's not what you like, maybe write something, read books, like watch movies, always try to be creative outside of workspace. I think it's really important for an artist's mental health. And for me, it was an expensive way of doing it with university and like working full time at the same time to be able to pay university. It was super hard.
But
But
what you said
I
there
got
is
through it.
so important. Having hobbies outside of art, or at least outside of drawing and animation,
Yeah.
is so important. Like there's like it's really, really important, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but we do know that a lot of people we graduated with, they didn't stick around the industry for too long, because either they burned out, or they started to hate everything that had to do with art. Because when you're working so hard in school to be the wonder star, and then when you're working so hard at only your job and doing nothing else, then this is very prone to causing art burnout. And then you're like, oh crap. So having hobbies that are not just related to animation or just art is so important. And to give you an idea, like, ask yourself, if tomorrow I lost my drawing hands, because that's a question I had to ask myself seriously, because I almost lost it. If you were to lose your drawing hand, what would you be? What would you do? And if the answer is, I don't know, you have some soul searching to do, but you have to find other things that makes you happy except it's just animation. Can be cooking, can be what is our friend doing, like pottery classes? This is so cool. There's so many other hobbies you can have. So people take notes in the chat section.
And I'm of the type of the type of artist that think that you can find so much inspiration from other type of art, like artwork or art stuff, like go to museum and just go take a walk and like get inspiration from everything else other than just animation. But I guess that's where I wanted to go with it.
What are some of your non-animation hobbies?
Well, I read books. Like sometimes I just read the fantasy books, or I watch live action movies. I really like. I mean, not just cartoon animation movies, but I watch like fantasy movies and stuff. Yeah, and I have to go watch the recent Avatar too.
The one with the blue people?
Yeah, the one with the blue people.
Need to do that.
Not the future live action Avatar thing. It's coming out like next year, I think.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Yeah, but, I want to see it too. I hope it's better than the other one. But that, and then like I go take walks in the forest sometimes. I like do road trips during the summer. Just other stuff.
Thank you for sharing. This is so important. I hope it gives ideas to some people. Because also now you have you started Kagul Animation, which is your small
a little character.
For now, I think 2 people studio, right?
Yeah, just for now. Okay, I think we're gonna start small.
And help her when you need.
We're gonna start small and like ask people for help, like within our the people that we know for like freelance work. Yeah, so that too, maybe we can talk about that, like how to start a company and how to not think too big in the first years. Because when I started the process, I really thought that we would be like a super big studio, like this, and we would have like so many contracts and non-stop work and stuff. But I guess like I'm a very I don't know.
Is it ambitious?
But I'm an ambitious person, but I like to plan my stuff, and I like to plan my life like in increments.
We both like to make lists.
So like, yeah, I just to give an example, I did the entrepreneur class and like how to start up your business with the like another Cégep class, like a college class, I guess, in 2021. Because like when you're an animator, I don't know for everybody in the chat, but you don't know stuff about like government paperwork and like how to do your taxes. Like there's a bunch of stuff that I don't know in how to run a company per se, like the nitty-gritty of how to run a company. Like I did a bunch of freelance work, and I know how to do like
So wait, Louise-Andree, what you're telling us is that if I'm an animator who wants to start my own studio, I will need to learn skills that are not related to animation directly? Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. And when you don't
So
have an associate to help you with that, like I know
yeah.
people that got associated with like what's a comptable in English?
A what?
What's a comptable?
Oh,
Like
it's a oh
numbers
crap, that word
people.
is so hard.
Ah,
I'll
wait,
Google it while you keep
okay.
talking.
So like people, I know people that got associated with like outside of animation people, like the
Accountant.
accountant. Oh, thank you. So I know people that got associated with an accountant to start their own company, and then it was easier for them just to learn the other side, like the background work of having a company in animation. But like, if you know the process of animation and you know your craft and you know like how to run a production, that's really nice. That's really good. But you still don't know how to do your taxes. And, like you can pay someone to do it, but at least you have to know what you're talking about. Like when you ask people questions for animation, you want to have like a, I don't know, a retake on your scene. You're not gonna ask your mom who's like
Oh
uh, well,
no.
my mother is an accountant, so like I'm not gonna ask her for advice on my animation, but I'm gonna ask her advice on my company.
Oh, you're so
So
lucky.
yeah, I'm lucky for that. Thank you, mom.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I guess you have to start from somewhere. And the class that we did, it was with the Entrepreneur School of Quebec because they were doing during the pandemic classes online. So it was full on online classes. And we had like coaches that would coach us in our marketing plan and stuff and teach us how to find information online and how to like build up the marketing plan to have a financial aid from the government for the company and stuff. So you have to start from somewhere, and classes like cheaper classes like for government funded classes most of the time are good enough just for everybody. It's accessible. I think it was like $100 for the class. No, I think it was even less than that. I think it was like $74 for the class,
But
and
that
it
is
was a
because
whole
it's publicly
semester.
funded, right? And in our in where we live, we do have those. So
Yeah,
um, so I don't know how it is in everybody's place where you are staying at the moment. Everybody in the world, but I think the advice is in there is that maybe you can try to look around. Sometimes there are public classes that are, not art related, but something more akin to like business development, or a lot of places in the world nowadays have these courses for like small businesses. Sometimes that you can team up together and learn courses. There's also courses online available, but just be
yeah.
careful that these online courses apply to your geographic position in the world, because doing taxes in Quebec is not the same as doing taxes in Texas. Taxes in Texas.
Taxes
That
in
almost sounds
Texas,
like a pun.
but that's
But yeah, so be careful about that. But yeah, finding education is so important for these kind of subjects. Like, don't just Google it.
yeah. And like for me, I really need the structure to learn something. So just going to school and going to like get information on with classes and stuff, and like supplement my own knowledge with classes and in-person class or like this online classes, no matter. It just helps me to learn faster because when you learn by yourself in your own room and you try to learn animation and stuff or learn how to run a business, it's super hard when you don't have someone to ask questions, when you don't have like the structure of a day-to-day class and like homework to do. You have to be super diligent to learn stuff by yourself. And I think that's what school gives you as an opportunity. So I'm a huge advocate for schools, I guess. But like cheaper
Yeah.
schools, go for cheap schools, go for what's in your budget. Because even though I'm from like the province of Quebec, and like most of my school years were on cheap schools and stuff, and it wasn't very expensive. I still have debt. Okay, I still have debt to pay now, and I'm getting through it though. But I still have some, and I'm almost 30, so think about that before getting yourself involved into a super long class
University
at
and
super
stuff.
expensive
Dun, dun,
school and like
dun.
because I never heard of anyone in the industry asking you like where you went to school for a pedigree kind of stuff. Normally people ask you just to ask if you know the same people that they know. So it's like if I ask Marie-Ève did you go to Cégep du Vieux Montréal, to a school, and you say like, yes, and I know this person and this person, so that's nice. But I'm not
It's the
asking you to have a
connections.
baby. Like it's not because I taught in a private school this year, so I gave animation classes to the students at Pivot. So and it's a smaller school, and it's just like I think I had seven students this year, 7 graduates. So you can see how small of a school it is, and it's like most of my colleagues now are from Pivot, so, and it's I don't know, it's just like it's not a
Yeah.
super renowned school and stuff. It's very much the people that you meet there that are important, and not the school and pedigree and
Like it's not so
all this
much the
stuff.
name of the school on your diploma to a
Yeah,
certain to an extent, because the name does help in the long run, but it's not the only, like it's not the name on the paper that helps, is the people built in that school. So when we graduated from Cégep du Vieux Montréal together, like it's a bigger school, but it's also been there for, I think it's almost 20 years now. But when
yeah.
were there, I think we were there like 15 or 16th cohort. I don't remember.
No, I think we were
But
the 13 because we were
oh
making
yeah,
jokes about how we
13. We
were
were the bad
unlucky
blood.
because
You're
of
right.
the yeah because
But
of
we were
the
there
next attack.
13th cohort, so it's not so much because of the name or because of the prestige of the school. It's just that they've been there for long. The school had time to build relationships with companies. Also, if you went to a school that has more years, well, perhaps students know each other. And if I look for people from my studio, maybe I will go pick in that school. So it's more like the connections and the family built around a school. So the pivot school you teach to at the moment is smaller, but it's also much younger. So give it a couple of years, and the network that is being built at the moment will just expand.
Yeah,
So it's not so much the name of the school. Like it's not because you go to CalArts that you're going to be a more talented person than someone else. You might have more connections, maybe, but like it's
yeah,
just a school. So what you do with your years of school is a lot of it has to do with what you do with it. So it gives you maybe a network. If you don't exploit that network and contact people and take steps, then you know you're not. It's not going to help you more than anything. So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Um.
I'm trying
So
to
yeah,
make his hand move.
it's such a cool animation, by the way. I've been staring since earlier. It's
That's so
such a good
cute.
one. Good
He's
job.
super cute.
Um. So we talked a bit about the school years. Then we talked about um the second school years where you were trying a few things. And what is important, I think, to take away is that yes, we went to like paper animation school at first, and after that we both tried 3D. We both were not fan of it, and we just
Yes.
went back to doing a bit of doing 2D. And I think that says a lot, where like it's bit like you are allowed to try things, and if you're in a program or in a job or something that doesn't speak to you anymore, after a while it's okay to just do something else. But I think what is important to know is that don't don't leave. I'm tempted to say give up because of my lack of vocabulary in English, but that's not what I mean, because give up has such a bad connotation to it. But I'll still use that. But think of give up as a good thing to
Like maybe
let go,
reinvent
maybe.
yourself. Just
Yeah, it's
reinvent
okay to
yourself
let
and
go,
try
but
new
not too
things.
soon. Like if something is hard, it is important early on to learn to try and push through at least a little bit, because a lot of the time things are really hard, especially in animation. But
Yeah.
if you keep consistent and you keep trying, or things usually get easier. Am I right? Am I going crazy?
No, I think like as you get to know more and more of your craft, you get better and better, and like it gets easier. But if it like hits your mental health, sometimes you have questions to ask yourself because animation is such a it's so sad to say, but it's such a hard industry. It's hard on the people in it. It's hard to get into it. It's hard to get out of it. Like everything is I don't know because it's part of yourself. It's part of your personality. It's part of who you are, and you're always criticized on the work that you give in. Like it gets really hard on the long run, and you have to like find what passions, like what gets you going in animation. And I guess you have to try when you try to get into it, and you like get your first job and you're super excited and you still have stars in your eyes. Like, don't get discouraged by the first 2 to 3 years in animation. I would say, like, try it out for real. Take your time to live through it and like have a feel of the industry before giving up. Sometimes it's just like a bad place, a bad production, a bad studio, or it was a bad contract. And then after that, you can just get up on your feet and try something new, and then it's like marvelous, and you're so happy to be in the industry. So try it for real. But then if it's not for you, don't try to push through something that you're not sure about. I would say, yeah, like
Yeah. We
like
have a
don't.
very good. Oh, sorry.
Okay, go for it. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Okay. We have a very interesting question in the chat.
Yeah.
They say, because I hear that very often. On topic of schools, I think it's worth considering the use of case of what you've been taught. I've heard stories of people who attended art and animation school and say that sometimes materials are outdated. Thoughts? And I think this is interesting because schools try to be, I mean, schools with good intentions, because, let's be real, not all the schools have the best intention of their students in mind. Some schools are places that they just want to get money and not your success. And this is the harsh world we live in. So research your school thoroughly before attending. I'm sorry I have to announce that, but it is true. Just like everything in life, be careful of what you sign up into. Now that this disclaimer is out of the way, I will consider that all the schools I talk about are schools with good intention that just want the success of their students at heart, like most schools are. They really try to be updated in their learning. It's just so hard because even here at Toon Boom, we see that many studios have different ways to do things. So a studio might be outdated in 3 months. So like staying updated in the animation industry, especially today, is very hard. So cut your school some slack, like let them like try. But even so, in our case, for Louise-Andree and I, when we went to school, it was a very special era of animation. It was in 2000. We graduated in 2014, which means we went in animation school from 2011-ish to 2014-ish for the 2D part. And the industry was changing so much. It was kind of the start of cutout getting somewhere. Like envelope deformers were starting to be a thing. Like we went to school and envelope deformers in rig were just like starting. It was not even a thing. No one were using them because it was a new technology. So our school was outdated in terms of cutout because it was so hard to catch on to it. But this did not stop us from learning how to animate. Like the base of animation, you can do that with macaronis and taking pictures and doing stop motion with macaroni and cheese or something, right? Or you can take paper and staple them together to create a flip book. Animation in its raw concepts, you can learn it with anything. So even if your school has outdated things, I don't think it's an excuse to like not learn or something. And I think this is what also brings to what Louise-Andree was saying earlier. It's so important to have side projects. School is not endgame. It's not the most important like assignment and everything. Like they're feeding you learning, but then you can take what they make you learn, and maybe if you feel your school is outdated, go get a trial of any software. Learn it on the side. Just use it as a bonification of what you learn in school, right? Sometimes it's very easy to be like, oh, well, my school doesn't teach me, so therefore I will not learn. Like, everybody's trying their best. So maybe try to do things on your own. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the matter, Louise-Andree?
Maybe a good example of that was that I went to Concordia after
I know where you're gonna go.
And they learned TV Paint there. So everybody was learning TV Paint, and nobody even heard of Toon Boom at first. And I was the only one knowing Toon Boom. But in Montreal, everybody used Toon Boom in the studios and in freelance work and stuff. So like you kind of have to learn it, or it's a sink or swim situation. But my colleagues at the time at Concordia, they like went and like got supplementary classes with the Toon Boom Learn program. Like I think you still have that, but now it's more like classes and stuff. Because back in the day, it was just the learn videos. So now there's courses being given by Toon Boom that are accessible, I would say. So you can try to learn the software with a class to like supplement the school you're going to. And most of the people that I went to school with learned Toon Boom that way. Well, for those who learned Toon Boom, they learned it that way, or they did a class at the Cégep du Vieux Montréal, just like an evening classes in person, and they learned Toon Boom there. But their knowledge in animation, they learned it in Concordia with the Concordia
Yeah,
classes.
it just translates.
So, like they went and got the information to complete their knowledge in animation. I guess that's what I would say. But like the school wasn't bad. It's just it wasn't the mission of the school. The mission of the school was to teach you a way
The basics of animation.
Yeah, the basic of animation, but a way to create your own films. It was very much a place to be a producer, to be a director. So they were teaching you how to direct a film and direct a team, direct like a pre-production team, but not how to do like animation for studios. And Cégep du Vieux Montréal, I guess that's what they teach you. Mostly they teach you how to work in a studio setting. So I guess that's the difference. And when you want to seek the knowledge, like there's always a way to complete your courses, I guess. And even for me, I wanted to learn Storyboard Pro. And at Concordia, they had like a few classes that you could take that were free elective. And those free electives, you could do like an internship or do like learn your own software and have credits awarded for those. So I think I had 6 credits for learning Storyboard Pro by myself and like calling Marie-Ève sometimes to have advice.
Oh, you're right. It did give you some lessons of that. I totally forget.
Yeah, and then I had to write an essay and a report card, like a whole report on what was my process in learning it. So I guess it still gave me the structure in a school setting, but I learned it by myself. So I don't know if that answers your question or like if
I think it does.
I think when we answer something, we like go super far to the other end. I'm so sorry for the people.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's what these streams are for. It's just to talk about stuff. And I think that answers the question very well. Like we were just talking about, like the school, even though the school program might be quote unquote outdated, like schools are just trying their best and they're just there to teach you the basics. But if you go to school to learn how to connect pegs together, you're doing it wrong. You should go to school to learn many other things. I mean, connecting a peg is great, but it's not the only thing you learn in school.
And maybe another example, most of the stuff that I learned in school, like since we were so many students for our cohort, I learned
but we were a
peers.
special case though. We do need to give context that usually in our school there was 20 to 22 students graduating in the final years. We were 47. Well, we ended up
42. Hey.
Yeah, but we started the year at 47, but 5 people got lost and didn't make it.
Yeah.
Rip. But so they're still alive and well, I swear. But they animation is hard and sometimes people want to take more time or something. So, but yeah, instead of being 20 students to graduate, we were more than double, which means we had way less time to learn with the teacher, which in turn made us a bit more autonomous, dare I say. So yeah, context is done. You can go now. Floor is yours.
So yeah, like you can learn a lot from your peers and you can learn a lot by asking questions around you. And when you're searching for a school, that's what I wanted to say earlier, just before I forget it. When you're searching for a good school to go to, don't forget to like just go online, go on LinkedIn, search who graduated from the school, and send them a message on LinkedIn. Like, hey, I'm thinking about like I'm 17 or like I'm 32 and I want to go to animation and I was wondering do you have advice for me and stuff? Like, I know someone who did that before coming to Montreal. He's an American, and he was searching like a good studio to go to, and he like just found someone that worked there or was working there, and he asked her like online, hey, can you give me like an overview of the studio that you're working at, and how's the industry in Montreal, and what did you do, like which school did you go to? And like still today they're still friends. I don't know, like it can create friendships, and it can like you can create your own opportunities. I think that's what I mean.
Oh,
And
that is a good. Yeah, that's very
for me
important.
personally, if I receive a message on LinkedIn from someone who's asking question about like school and stuff, I always try to answer to the best of my capabilities, and I try to give out the most information possible, because in animation, like I think that's what I like about the industry. Like we try to help each other the most, because
We're all in the same boat together.
yeah, to have a healthy industry, you need to have healthy coworkers and like people that are passionate about it. So if you can give a bit of your passion to everybody and like try to lift everybody up, I think that's how we get like the healthiest industry. And maybe by helping each other and like talking about stuff with each other, gossiping about the studios with each other, I think that's the most important.
Do you remember in school, I think it was like our very first class with one of our teacher, Catherine, where she was like, we were all sitting in a class and she was like, okay, hi, welcome to the animation school, blah, blah, blah. Look around you. Like, take a moment to look at all the faces around you. And they were like, okay, what the heck? And we did. And then she was like, these are your future colleagues, not just for one job, but for life. Like, you're just entering the same industry together. You better darn well learn to work together right now and not in like 50 years. And she was like, it's not about faking and being friends with everyone, but, you know, have genuine connection and, you know, respect for one another, which is amazing, because in other schools that I've heard people go where they had the exact opposite speech, where the teacher was like, okay, look around you. This is your competition. It's all by yourself, and like these are your nuisance for the next year. So like focus on your work. And like, no, like this is so far from the truth. In animation, like you just said, we are all in the same boat. We're there to succeed together. And I don't know a lot of people who are just there to like break people's knees in the industry. And if they do, they don't last long. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they don't last long, or they're not very well liked in the industry. Because I saw a bunch of people that are like this and that try to like be the biggest player in the room, the best animator, but they're not the ones getting like the promotion most of the time.
No, they're not.
People hate them.
Really not.
It's just like you have to be a team player. You have to know how to work with people. You have to, but I guess it all comes down to be passionate about animation and not think about like being popular with it.
Yep.
Because you're never going to be popular. You should be like an actor or an actress, because we're always going to do the dirty work, and like animation mostly. I'm not talking about character design.
In a project in the past, and nobody knows who I am. So you know.
So like, you know, I worked for Infoman for I think 4 years. Yeah. So we were doing the Revue de l'année, like one of the biggest shows in Quebec, like the last show of the season and everything else and stuff. And we did it, me and Mathieu, for 4 years. And nobody knew who we were. And even though our name was at the end and it was like a super popular show, nobody knows you.
If you're into animation for cloud, just change industry, man. It's
Don't be there for cloud. Or like even like I heard online, even people working in VFX trying to get into VFX for cloud are getting burnt out super fast. So don't do it for that. Do it for the love of the craft.
Yeah.
It's going to be better for your mental health. I guess it's going to be like the word of the day, mental health. Take care of yourself.
Out of 4 shows I worked on, I got credited once.
Yeah, sometimes they forget you. Sometimes in the credits, they just straight up forget you. And like for me, I have even for Quebecers, I have a special name. So Louise-Andree, it's always forgotten. Like the Andree is forgotten. My name is written wrong, so nobody can find me on LinkedIn. Like it's always stuff like that. And even like my partner at the Kagul Animation, that too, like his name is written wrong, even though his name is Mathieu and it's a super common name. Like, or they just straight up don't put it in the credits because there's a bit of like miscommunication between the studios and the producer and stuff. So don't count on that to have like, I don't know, popularity points. It's never gonna work. It's just gonna work with your grandma. Like, hey grandma, I'm doing cartoons. Yeah, I'm proud of you. That's it. And even though like even that people don't understand what you're doing, so don't take it too hard. Don't take it badly, and don't think about that. Like, we love you, we appreciate you, we love animators. Because even my hairdresser doesn't know who Glenn Keane was, and he watched like an hour documentary on him, and he said,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
like there was a guy, he was doing like the design at Disney, and I didn't even know that Walt Disney was the name of someone. Like, oh, okay, we're going far now. Oh, but he was super passionate about it. Like, it was super cute. Yeah.
So we have a good little 10 minutes to go. This thing goes so fast. I
Oh,
told you.
shit.
I know it goes so fast. And we talked a lot about how we became who we are at the moment, but like, who are we at the moment? So like, what are you doing with Kagul Animation? What are some projects that you did, and what are your goals for that project? That it's still very young, and I'm so proud of you, by the way. I think it's so great. But like, what are your why? So like, two questions: why did you create your little project, and where are you going with it? So what are your goals? So like, why is it? What did you do, and what are you gonna do?
Yeah, so like this year, with the help of Vanessa Bouchard at the character design, we did a video clip for the band Rouge Pompier called Hippocrate. So it's a Quebec band, and like it's from the people that were in Extérieur, for the old people in the chat in Quebec. So we did the video clip for them this year with Kagul Animation, and it like got a good amount of views. We were quite proud of it. And
I'll
with
share
that,
it in the chat for those of you who are curious. Give me and say.
thank you.
Keep going.
So we did that this year, and we were super proud of it. And then, like right now, we're just solidifying the foundation of the company, and like trying to find an accountant. Like, we had the contacts with the lawyers to build up our like in the state of art contracts and stuff, and like that's bullshit anyway. Sorry for the bad word, but yeah. So this, and right now we're searching for contracts. So if you're searching for people to do animation for you, do a video clip and stuff, contact Kagul Animation. We have a very nice website now. It's super fresh.
It's so cool.
Like fresh out the oven. And like, I don't know if I can talk about it. I guess I got my partner said it was okay to talk about it yesterday, so I hope he didn't change his mind. So if we're not finding anything for the beginning of 2023, we're thinking about doing the web series that he prepared. We have a few scenarios and animatics ready for us. So, and he just finished the rigging for the characters. So
that is so cool.
Yeah, maybe for next, I don't know, like next summer, we're gonna start animating a show made by Mathieu Labbé. So it's gonna be coordinated and like produced by Kagul Animation and animated by us. So, and we hope to find collaborators to do like just a bit of pre-production. We're gonna see what we're gonna do with that, but that's our planning for the 2023. We're planning to publish the web series.
And that really goes back to what you were saying before, like, and I think especially in animation and in many other fields, if you sit and you wait for an opportunity, someone else is gonna grab it. So make your own opportunity. Just don't wait for something to happen.
Yeah, you can create your own.
Put yourself out there and do something. You can't find a contract with your new studio. Okay, make something, and maybe, and this might lead to something else. So do something. Like, make your opportunities.
Yeah. So that, and we hope that during the year of 2023 we can have like a, I don't know, getting more traction on the page of Kagul Animation and have people watch our stuff and watch what we do. So we're trying to do our own stuff for 2023 if we can find the contracts, I guess. But we're waiting for a few answers. It's just that we have NDAs and a bunch of like stuff that I can't really discuss right now. So
I know. I was just asking it also for more of a broad thing. Like, do you want to get like? Are you looking to get maybe like you're just saying like maybe like a series made, or are you looking for more like work from maybe collaborating with studios to help them on projects, or do you want to find like what are your goals that you see this? That's what it was. I was asking. So you answered
very well. It was a good answer. It was good enough.
Yeah, it was super good. Oh my god! Like I could keep talking for 5 hours, but we only have 5 minutes. Oh my god!
Do we have other questions? Because just so you know, I can't really see the chat. So
yeah, that's my job. It's good. It's good.
Oh, okay, phew. Because I don't know if I was supposed to see it and answer like people's questions because I can't see anything.
Someone is asking. Oh, that's very good. 2 questions that are kind of going into one. Adam M is asking, doing animation for long hours of hard work is hard work. Have you had any issues with like carpal tunnel or neck or back issues? And you have tips for prevention or recovery?
Wait,
my tip straight away is just be active, like do something and get some ergonomic things.
Ergonomic mouse.
The floor is yours, LA. We want to know what you're saying about this thing.
Yeah, so well, the same thing as you, Marie-Ève. So just try to do a bit of sport, even though it's just like stretches in the morning. Like try to drink water, get up while you're working, and do something else. And don't just stay in front of your screens. Like I'm a bit of a gamer, but maybe don't try to just do that. So try to like go outside, go take a walk, and try to move a bit and do stretches. But for me, the ergonomic mouse changed my life. So like now it's a very good buy, like $30 on Amazon, and now I am changed my life. It's so
I don't even have a mouse.
What? Because that too, maybe for the person asking the question, working instead of like, because in cutout you mostly use your mouse to do your animation.
Oh, that's why I don't have a mouse.
Yeah. So in traditional animation, you like mostly use the tablet and you try to like change your pen to hold it in a better way. That's what I saw online. But for cutout animation, you mostly use the mouse. So it's just like changing the way that you move your mouse. With the ergonomic mouse, it's perfect. But if you switch up between the mouse and the pen and tablet, like it's a good way to change things up and not like create the repetitive movement, because the repetitive movement is what like kills your arms and stuff. So yeah, maybe work out a bit and change your mouse. Amazon.
Yeah, so I don't think that's usually the answer that people want to hear. But hey, if you don't want back problems, if you don't want carpal tunnel, like breaking your arm, like we will keep saying it, stretches.
Yeah.
Be active. Like you don't have to run a marathon, but taking a walk here and there, maybe taking one walk every 2 days is already a lot. Like 15-minute walk. It's going to start to make a huge difference because it's going to unwind your lower back. So I swear, be active, like minimally active, stretch, and check out your working environment. If you're getting someone to watch you work is creepy, but it works. My best friend and roommate often asks me, she's like, oh my God, if I'm hunching over my computer, please like tell me or like hit me or something. So, because sometimes you don't notice and you just like turn into gremlin mode and you just start to animate like a gremlin. And then that's how you hurt your back. So maybe have someone hold you accountable for how you work and have good posture and something. So ergonomics, even a standing desk can be great, but it's not the only thing. Like you need to change your position every now and then. So maybe have like different chairs like that you can try, and ergonomics and being active. I'm sorry, that's the way.
Stretches while working, it also helps. And don't work for 32 hours straight. I did that once. my chiropractor was crying when I met him.
Do it, but not
Like,
too
what
often.
did you do? Yeah, I met with a chiropractor after working for 32 hours on a rush on a project, and he said, like, what did you do? What did you do to yourself? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I was in the vibe. Just
Okay,
vibing.
that is cool. What is your favorite way to be remotely active? Minimally active.
I take a few breaks, and like I drink lots of water, which
Oh yeah.
like it pushes me to take a break, like a little bathroom breaks once in a while. But then I try to like go take a walk during lunchtime and stuff. Not very far, just go to the I don't know the market close to home and stuff. It helps.
And
It
buy
helps.
chips.
Yeah.
But yeah, the same. For me, it's really walks and like yoga is really helpful if you guys want to know. And I have yet to have any carpal tunnel thingy or any back problems. So, maybe there's truth in the nonsense. But yeah, so keep active and oh, if you are hurting, seek help.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
your carpal tunnel is not gonna go better like on its own. Like go consult someone if you can, please.
Yeah, we had a friend that had to stop working for a while because of that. So like your hands are your money for now. Like
Yep.
just we said earlier, maybe try to find something not just animation, so you don't depend on just your body to work. But
And also the question
still
was
take good
about
care
like
of it.
the question was about like lower back pain and carpal tunnel and whatever, but there was also a similar question up there that was more for like burnout and mental health and stuff. And I'm like, if you're gonna seek help for your lower back pain, seek help for your mental health. Like if you're not feeling okay, there's so many ways to get help, and it's super important and super valid, and everybody does it, and everybody should do it if they don't, because it's really, really important. So
Yeah, and
burnout
talk
is
about it.
real.
Like
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate of talking about it, talking about stuff,
Yeah.
even though it's not pleasant. So if you have, I don't know, if it's not going well mentally, reach out to someone, talk to someone, even if it's just to talk shit or you just want to vent or you don't even need advice. Just say that straight up. Like, I just need to vent a bit. Are you available for a call, like a Discord call, or just can we go get a beer or coffee? Can we just vent a bit and like talk things
We do
out?
that all
And
the time together.
yeah, no, it helps for real. It really helps. Just don't keep everything to yourself. I think it's the worst thing that can happen. And if it's not going well at the studio that you're working at, the best thing is to talk about it and talk about it with your colleagues, talk about it with your friends, talk about it with even your normie friends that are not in animation. They, I don't know.
That is true, because if it's going bad at your studio, usually the people who are most interested in knowing it are the people running the studio. Because if their studio is a mess and maybe your higher up is making dumb decisions, or your colleagues are being rude, or like your environment is not a safe place, well, usually people running studios want to know these things. So don't just barge at their door being like, I hate it here. There's processes and take it slowly, but raise awareness and try to talk it out. Sometimes it can be helpful. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it, that's okay, but maybe someone else will. So be open, talk about it, and it's not easy, but it's important.
Always reach out before like burning yourself, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's the same if it's just not feeling well, even though it's not because of the studio or because of someone else. Talk things out with someone, like not just with your mom. Like call someone, call a friend, or like ask advice, or just vent. It's, I don't know. For me, it's really working. It helps a lot, and it keeps me level-headed too. Like to take very big decisions. It's important to be level-headed and not take decisions with emotions. So yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Talking about.
And that was super interesting. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
We couldn't finish the animation, but I did a bit of it. Still
Can
needs
you
work.
show us?
But I can show you. I don't know if you wanted to hear the sound too. I don't know if we can put the sound to hear the music.
We put the sound now. I think it's coming.
Like for me, it's super high though. So maybe
I'm gonna see if you're good.
maybe I can play a bit and you can tell me if you can hear it.
Apparently, we cannot hear your sound. Can you try it again one last time?
Yeah.
If not, I'm gonna sing a little song for it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but we didn't get the sound, but it still looks really, really cool. And well, we will have to invite you back so you can walk us through your animation process, because this is also very interesting.
Yeah, sometimes it's very instinctual. So I don't know if I'm the best to talk about my process in animation, even though I gave a class on animation this year. I'm very much of an instinctual animator, so I just go with the flow and how it feels. If it's ugly, I just do it again until it's not ugly anymore, I guess. So.
So that was really fun. I'm really happy you joined us for today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for your questions. I guess I hope it wasn't too like a flowy as a conversation. I guess it wasn't very structured. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I just go on a tangent and like to stay on it.
No, I think it was fun. People had so much interesting comments in the chat, so it was super cool.
Yeah. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, do you have any last parting words for us?
Work with passion and just never give up. I was one of the worst in my class, and now I have a company. Good job, me.
Yeah, we did forget to say that. Yeah, we were not superstar in school, both of us.
No, I was super bad, super bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True.
Yeah, and I stayed in school. I think I went to university just because I was too insecure to go into full-time work right out of the Cégep. But then, like, I still found work and still worked during university. So
yeah,
I don't know. Life finds a way. As Jurassic Park would say, life finds a way. But yeah.
Just keep working hard, and even if school is hard and you don't get the best grades, the important is that you're trying hard in your learning, because even though you don't have the best grades, what you're actually learning is how to work and how to get better and stuff, and this is priceless. And I hope that this little stream was fun for everyone, and we will bid you farewell, everyone. So bye.